I think now, turn of the hour, it's time to talk about Balldo. All right. I need some assistance, of course, to talk about Balldo. So I brought with me the Balldo ham. The Balldo ham is in place. There's actually several candidates I have for this. Maybe I'll do it differently, like depending on what I'm talking about. Somebody drew this extremely cute police ham. I love it. I think I'm supposed to, it's not like the full desk. I think I'm supposed to like drop them like on top, like that. And then bam, I have like the police ham. And then there's another one. Oh yeah, here we go. It's a real toss up. I went with the other one because it's like a full edit. Because that looks like it's the Balldo ham. You know what I mean? Like it's a different hamster that's doing the nasty stuff, as opposed to my nice news hamster who's just got out the Balldo and like $100 bill to do some lines. I prefer it to be a completely different hamster that I don't care as much about. Okay, my news hamster would never do coke. He's a good boy. Anyways, the Balldo hamster is out. So let's talk about Nick. First things first, I would like to relay a theory on behalf of one of my most trusted users on the Kiwi forums. She, and whoever you think she is wrong, I guarantee you. It's Myrna Minkoff. Directly DM'd me. She was so excited with her theory of what, because apparently she had an epiphany that nobody else had posted, so she was very proud of it and then sent me a DM to let me know her theory. And I guess I'll relay this because I haven't seen anybody else suggest this, and I think it's a really good theory. So I will comment on it. Here, let's watch this again. I think that in the hubbub of all the new Balldo related revelations, the classic Balldo bottle lick has been forgotten. So let's see the famous edit. Famous bottle edit. And here it comes, little pour, and one more time. Awesome. So Nick Rekieta did this thing where he licked that bottle for every drop of alcohol, and it made people wonder, what the fuck is he doing that for? And many people just assumed that that he was such an alcoholic that he couldn't let a single drop of alcohol go to waste. And his stated reason was that every drop of alcohol in that bottle is worth 80 cents. So it's economic to not let a single drop go to waste. However, there is a new word that has entered my vocabulary this week as a result of people posting on the Kiwi forums and also from reading court documents. And that word is polysubstance. Polysubstance, as in more than one. If you are a off-the-fucking-wagon addict, you may not stop at one substance, a monosubstance abuse, such as alcohol or cocaine. You instead will have a polysubstance abuse, such as alcohol and cocaine. All the downsides of alcohol with all the downsides of cocaine abuse. And if you are perhaps on camera and you want to enjoy a polysubstance indulgence without getting off the camera to conspicuously do lines every couple of minutes, because a cocaine high, I think, lasts 20 minutes is what people have said, you might need to mix your substances together. You may need to put the lime in the coconut, so to speak. You may need to put the cocaine in the alcohol bottle. And when your polysubstance mix is actually a lot of fucking money, then it would make sense that every drop of it would be 80 cents, and you wouldn't want a single drop to go to waste. So Marina's theory, which I will now reposit for you all, my listening audience, is that the reason why Balldo licked the bottle is that it was mixed with cocaine, and it was a polysubstance. That is I think a great thing to actually add to my stream as like a recurring trend is a word of the day. So let's start this stream. Your word of the day is polysubstance abuse, if you want the full phrase. So, by the way, one of the other things that's interesting to me, which I will relay, is that the police report of the search turned up two things that many people found conspicuous. One was that there was a brown substance, and the police are very careful when they say brown substance to not say heroin, which is what many people would think when they say brown substance, or hashish, for instance. The police don't want to falsely identify that they obtained, because I think it's like if they say it's heroin and it's a brown substance and then it turns out that it's something else, like I guess it's not valid for the warrant or whatever. It can't be entered into evidence. So they're very general, like they'll say, it's a white powdery substance that appeared to increase his central nervous system's responses. Like, okay, yeah, it's cocaine. But they'll never say that because if they're wrong, I guess there's problems for them as a result of this. However, I have this theory, which I am particularly fond of. The police report mentioned that there was a brown substance, and then there was cocaine, which it tested positive for cocaine because they had a field test for it, so they could say it was cocaine. And there was several empty 22 LR, which is a very small round, under his bed, outside of like a bag. I think he tried to say that the bullets, or were like it was just laying on the ground. It was an empty cartridge for a 22 LR round. I have been informed, in the many things that I've learned about drugs this week, that there is a drug called brown, which, as it would turn out, is a brown substance. Brown is a mixture of cocaine and black powder or smokeless powder from a modern bullet casing, modern round. So there is some suspicion that the brown substance is not heroin, as many people seem to think it is. Though he did have track marks on his arm, allegedly, so that would be consistent with heroin. But there is some suspicion that the brown substance that they found was actually brown, which would be a mixture of cocaine and smokeless gunpowder, which apparently increases. It's because it has the gunpowder has nitroglycerin in it. I should explain, and the nitroglycerin is a heart medication. You will take nitroglycerin if you have some heart complications where your vascular system is too constricted. If you take nitroglycerin, it loosens up your arteries and your veins. So if you take cocaine and you take nitroglycerin, that cocaine shoots through you real fast and gets you really high really quickly. Which is why dangerous fucking junkies will mix smokeless gunpowder into their cocaine to get the nitroglycerin for it. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know. That's just one autistic theory. It's not a fact. I just want to get that out there. That's what people are speculating. There's a lot more going on in the Balldoverse this week. First, let's give a big old shout out to Camelot. Camelot was one of Rekieta's autistic degenerate friends that would show up on his streams and coom with him, and talk to all the wine-aunts who are showing up on his stream and stuff. And he dropped a little tidbit that nobody knew anything about, but he apparently didn't realize that people didn't know about this. So let's listen.
Matt says, the biggest part that sucks is Nick has actively been lying to his fans for over a year. Side piece, drugs, swinging. It really sucks. Look, I get it. I don't think viewers should be involved in anybody's personal life. But yeah, it was pretty egregious. And I think that's kind of what I was like, come on, man. Like it's so egregious. And I can deal with the hooker thing and the drug, like whatever, fuck it. But
the hooker thing. What hookers, Camelot? Who mentioned hookers? Apparently he mentioned it twice.
There's just, man, there's not much. I don't know if it was like a blow up situation, like he blew up real fast. I mean, shit, I blew up real fast. I think it just.
Oh man, Camelot fucking blew up. How does he handle the dizzying heights of his rapid success?
Depends on who you are. And then it was just the getting consumed with the celebrity. I don't know. He's always been humble around me. He's always been really cool. So I've never really thought of it in even that way. But it's just the drugs and the hookers and all that shit just got way too fucking prevalent.
He said it twice.
Way too prevalent. And I guess you can become addicted to that shit too. I don't know. I think they're fucking gross. I'm weird about that kind of stuff. I think hookers and strippers are fucking gross.
And strippers. Dude, That's bad. That's bad when Kumalot himself is like sneering at you, like, "Oh, you're fucking gross." I do not know the man. He says. Nobody asked about strippers or hookers, so now there is the insinuation that not only has Rekieta been doing all the things that he's been doing, he's also been going out to like because if you don't remember, on his public Instagram, not only did he like follow a drug dealer who openly talked about selling cocaine on Instagram, he followed like a bunch of prostitutes from Minneapolis. So he's been like openly flirting with and associating with like strippers and whores, like literal street walking whores in Minneapolis, and then going out to fuck them. And like nobody knew this for sure except Camelot apparently. But we had saw the strippers and prostitutes and stuff on his Instagram months ago. So once again, the only place that knew anything about this, besides Camelot and Camelot's head, up until this post right now, was the Kiwi Farms. And then this is Legal Mindset, who I have to say like that because in case you don't remember, someone in the fucking Balldo chat. Please send me the hold on, I'm booting up the chat. Send me the Ralph Legal Mindset clip now immediately. Thank you. I'll explain why, but I'll play this clip.
If I were him, my suggestion, Nick, is shut the fuck up, get off of Twitter, get off of the internet, get off of locals, go over there and start talking about a plea deal. You're going to get a lot further than arguing with a bunch of people in and dude, oh my fucking God. Oh,
is this guy cross-eyed? He looks cross-eyed.
My fucking God. Nick just literally, he said, I'm not saying anything else. Talk to me in DMs. And then he drops fucking three DMs after that. No, sorry, 3 group messages after that, stating facts that can be used against him in court. Nick is making statements about the guns and where they are and what they were doing. And he's making these statements in a fucking group DM. This guy is retarded.
I know,
he's
bro.
He's a fucking idiot.
We've been saying this
right
for a
now.
while, bro.
And I can tell you right now, I'm much nicer than a lot of these motherfuckers in here because a lot of the people in this group text are fucking clout goblins. I'm going to say that. They're going to fucking take advantage of this.
Bro, there's like a full-on civil war in the law tube area now. Nobody knows what side they're like scrambling. It's like how they describe in like an actual war where like when the fighting breaks out and there's like people scattered all over the place and they don't really know like where their side is. Eventually, after a while, the front lines stabilize because people will get on either side of that line and make the front line. Before that happens, there's like complete and total fucking chaos where people are scrambling to like arm up and figure out where the fuck the rest of their crew is. It's like that. The front lines of this civil war have not yet stabilized. The Balldo War has broken out. Nobody knows where the fuck their allies are, and they're just like scrambling to figure out what the fuck they're doing. It's really, 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 really funny. Okay, I have multiple links. This one is from Spooderman. I hope that this is it. It's better not be some bullshit. Here we go.
Legal mindset. Legal dick sucker is more like it.
Hell yeah, that's that high energy shit right there. He had to, at some point, Legal Mindset said something like towards like Nick Rekieta that he took issue with. And Nick and Ralph had just become friends, so Ralph had to like cut like a 60-second promo making fun of this guy, this boring-looking fucking douchebag in a suit with a lazy eye. And Ralph has no idea who this guy is, doesn't know a single fucking thing about him. And all he just knows is that his name is Legal Mindset, he's a lawyer, and he's having beef with Rekieta. So he like tries to cut a promo where he's just like, Legal Mindset, more like legal dick sucker. Bish, the only legal I care about is not going back to jail, motherfucker. It's just like the most retarded shit ever. But I had never heard of Legal Mindset until I watched that clip. So now whenever I see Legal Mindset, I think Legal Mindset. More like legal dick sucker, bish. Cool. So that's legal. As I mentioned, the front lines are stabling. Nobody quite knows for sure where they are in the Balldo War, which is taking place. As I've dubbed, because I've congregated all these posts into a new board called the Baldoverse Collapse. This is the end stage Baldoverse. People, there's chaos, there's pandemonium. Nick Rekieta is back. He's deleting some posts, such as this post where he says, in response to Medicare saying Aaron, or quoting Aaron Imholt, "You wouldn't believe how dirty it was. I had to sweep and vacuum and cook and do laundry and then Rekieta says, Lamau, I mean." And I will get into that in just a second. Rekieta, in response to Medicare talking about the Kino Casino interview with Aaron Imholt, to be clear, on Sunday, there was an interview between Aaron Imholt, the Still Toe Morning Show guy, who was the husband of the April woman that Rekieta was fucking. He got on, and I get the sense that Aaron Imholt is completely and totally unreliable. He sounds completely full of shit. Oftentimes it feels like he's just making stuff up as he talks. I would not take anything he says without a serious grain of salt. He just sounds like he just sounds like a professional bullshit artist. If you don't know what that is, hold up. Let me explain to you what a bullshit artist is. Hold on. Okay. This is very important. This is very important content. But this will adequately explain who Aaron Imholt is.
BULLSHIT. New word. ARTIST. Spells bullshit artist. I say again, bullshit artist.
Just constant. Anyways, basically Aaron Imholt's recount of this was that Rekieta is like a terrible parent, and it's mostly his fault. And poor Kayla was just strung along, but Kayla was like so in love with Aaron. He was just so unresistible, and she loved his penis, and his penis worked great, and Nick Rekieta's penis didn't work one time, and April had to ask him for a Viagra once, because even though Aaron's penis works extra super great, he keeps Viagra just in case, I guess. And so on and so forth. But he kept like trying to show like what a great person he was, because it was like, man, I would like sweep, and then like they would throw, like one time Nick threw like a glass against the wall, screaming at Kayla, so I got out the broom and I swept it up, and then I cleaned all the dishes so I could cook all the kids like SpaghettiOs and stuff. And then, you know, Rekieta was just being so irresponsible, and he was up in his room fucking my wife, and was just like he just kept going on and on about he was like a good Janny, and he swept it up, and he he did all sorts of shit. He lost his wife to Rekieta. Just like kept going on, and he was trying to like frame this all. Oh, dude. he said that he literally went down and got like a snack tray for them once. Like he was bragging about how he was the responsible one, so he got like this snack tray and fed them all snacks during their swinging group. So he was like he was trying to like buff himself up and be like, yeah, you know, I took care of things. I got the snack tray and stuff. And I was like, bro, you're a cuck. You're telling the story about how you're a cuck Janny, how you were sweeping it up. And then I remember cuck Janny Aaron was talking about how the Kiwi Farms didn't do anything to Rekieta. I happen to have a memory longer than 1 week, and I remember when Aaron immediately after the arrest blamed the Kiwi Farms entirely for the Rekieta losing his fucking mind. Does anybody, like, he literally said this. He literally said that it was our fault. And it was like a week ago. And now when he's on the Kino Casino and he realized that we're the cool people in this situation, he realized that on this Balldo Civil War, he wants to be on our side of when the front lines stabilize. But a week ago, he didn't. A week ago, he was blaming us. And then as more information came out, he changed his allegiance and changed his story completely. I disavow this guy. I'm gonna go on my prediction here. It's early on, but I want to make it clear. Aaron Imholt is a fucking retard cuck Janny who catered to Rekieta and his wife and his girlfriend or his own wife, who he lost to Rekieta, with the silver platter snack tray, with the drugs, with the sweeping it up, with the making his children SpaghettiOs. He is a literal cuck Janny. And I refuse, I do not know the man, okay? I'm not, and he blamed us, and then we backtracked it like a bitch later on, only when it became obvious that there was no way to swing that. Fuck that guy. Don't like him, simple as. I don't even need a reason, I just don't fucking like him. Now, this is him talking to Rekieta. Hey, lady, keep it shut. I was more coherent for these conversations than you were. Only one of us has gotten our wives arrested due to our drug habit. If you'll excuse me, I have to go make dinner for my children. Oh, dude, and then he was talking about, oh my god, this guy's like a literal fucking retard. He was talking about how the big thing that happened that made him kick Rekieta out of his house and like disavow him. And this was also when his wife like completely left and stopped living at his house. He had custody of his kids for that weekend or whatever. Rekieta and his wife come up to swing so that he can feed them snacks. While Rekieta is laying in bed snorting cocaine, his arms wrapped around both his wife and April's at the same time. He can come up there with the grapes and hand feed Rekieta grapes fresh from the vine. As Rekieta came over for this event at his expense, he had what was called like a bullet container of cocaine, and apparently it fell out of his pocket and was next to his 4-year-old son on the couch. So by a creation of his own mind, Rekieta was there next to his 4-year-old son with a bullet of cocaine sitting between them, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he takes no responsibility for this. Like, maybe he did. I think he took a little bit of responsibility for it, but it's just like, I don't know how you can be like mad at Rekieta. I don't know. And you say like, he didn't say any of this shit until after he got arrested. He didn't report this. He didn't report any of this. I mean, I guess you can't say like, oh, you should talk to the police because police are evil, but I don't know. It's just like you set this up and you can't absolve yourself of responsibility. You're equally culpable for this. Yeah, it was pretty fucking gaudy, the whole thing. So this is Autistic Right, in his summary of the Kino Casino stream. Aaron claims to be madly in love with Kayla, Rekieta's wife. Kayla and April did lesbian shit Christian families. April was the corner demon and desk succubus. They were confirmed swinging. Balldo self-abuses and tard rage and after domestic incidents, which means he hits himself around the head when he's upset, which is a huge fucking retard energy. The 4 of them slept in the same bed. Imagine the smell. Part of his story was that he was sleeping in their bed, like all 4 of them. I guess they had like a California king, and they were doing this while all 5 kids were in the house. So it's like, how does the 16-year-old not know what's happening when mommy and daddy have a second couple, like, sleeping in their fucking bed? You know what I mean? The kids would see all 4 of them walk out of the bedroom. Balldo and Kayla went to hedonism too. Balldo has erectile dysfunction. Only that one time he said that he needed the pill. Okay, so the nanny was a thing, and the nanny apparently left the house at some point because it was in such disrepair. That's one of Aaron's stories. Aaron was there as a house elf. He had to cook stuff, clean up the place, and so on. There was a dishwasher full of spilt whiskey glass. Carpets were gross and stained. Laundry everywhere. Kayla was upset over Balldo licking the bottle. She cried. Aaron wanted out. Balldo was mad and said, "You led my wife on." Balldo would constantly cope and say that with the Kiwi Farms in conversations. Balldo claimed Noel was the one profusely texting him in the shower, not the other way around. Which is complete and total bullshit. Even after the shower call, by the way, he would occasionally send me a text message, and I would just ignore him. I never spoke to him again after the shower thing. I was just done with him. He kept sending me, and it was all like the same kind of cope, where it's just like, you don't ask me about how my feelings are, or when I tell you stuff, like, oh, after like the Montegraph thing, when I called him, I was like, well, that's what I remember, and I just stopped replying to him after the shower thing. Balldo punched a hole in the wall like a tard rage like Bossman Jack. After he was kicked out of the homeschool co-op, which I didn't know about. I don't know. Apparently he was not permitted to teach the kids anymore. He trashed Vic. By the way, the guy, Alex Stein was set to talk to Vic Mignogna about, Nick Rekieta. And I don't know if it was supposed to be like a tell-all or Vic was taking his side. But after what I'm about to say, Vic canceled that, that stream that was supposed to happen with Alex Stein. So, and it's a direct consequence of it's a direct consequence of the allegations in the search warrant that I'm going to read. So it's probable that Vic was supposed to defend Nick a little bit, and I don't think that's happening anymore. But this, by the way, is part of the reason why I really think that Aaron Imholt is a fucking liar, because I've spoken to Vic at length about Vic Mignogna. And my thing that I really pressed Nick on is I am 100% convinced that Vic Mignogna is a homosexual, and I do not know why his defense in this proceeding was not that I did not have any inappropriate sexual contact with these women because I am a homosexual. I think that he should have said that. And Nick completely and totally refused to even entertain this. He said he's completely straight. He's married to a woman. He got into trouble for cheating on her with a woman at some point in their relationship. He fraternizes with female fans all the time. He's completely straight. So for Aaron to come out and say that Nick bad talked Vic's sexuality to him, is completely and totally out of character. And granted, this is like proper Balldo Nick that he was speaking to, the guy that is doing Brown allegedly. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he became more reckless and like started shit talking Vic, or maybe he just didn't tell me because I'm the Kiwi Farms guy. But that is completely and totally 100% not in line with my conversations with Nick at any point. Aaron bought our wife Star Trek figurines. They had a snack tray cooler in the bedroom. It was apparently a device that keeps snacks cool. Would anyone need this in the bedroom? Oh, one of the things that he did is that he bought Kayla on their side, because apparently it was April slept on the far side of the bed, Nick next to her, Kayla between him and Aaron, and then Aaron was on the far side of the bed on one side. And he bought for their side of the bed like a Frigidaire mini cooler. So that's why he's the snack lad, because he literally bought like a fridge to keep snacks in so that everybody could eat. he literally contributed a fridge for snacks. Balldo brought narcotics to Aaron's place, one of those plastic bullet toys with cocaine in it to fill it out. And his 4-year-old, I thought it was between them, but he says the 4-year-old child actually started to play with it. So it wasn't just between them on the couch, the 4-year-old picked it up, like the bullet of cocaine. Supposedly he brought an entire, I remember this, his story changed a little bit. He brought an entire crack safe full of cocaine to Aaron's house. Apparently Balldo has a humiliation fetish. Balldo doesn't make his wife come, though of course Aaron totally made April come on the reg with his big functional penis. Okay, so Balldo took a St. Andrew's cross to a hotel. That is a bondage device. It's just like a letter X. It's a cross that's on its side, so that, and you're supposed to tie each appendage, each hand and foot to each corner as a bondage thing. And apparently he took this, folded up to a hotel room that they went to together. Apparently Rekieta would talk about illicit clips in conversation and complain about her. Dick apparently knew about the swinging. Kayla fucked Aaron for his birthday. Aaron got annoyed at Baldo's peeping Tom behavior. When Balldo was cheating on his wife, he confronted Aaron and her wife when they were in bed. He says that he raw dogged it because he was snipped. He had a vasectomy, so he just raw dogged Kayla, apparently. Okay, so there's one thing that's missing in this that I remember, and that was that Rekieta was apparently, according to Aaron, very obsessed with the details of how he was having sex with Kayla. And his story, and this is one of the most interesting things that I think might actually be true, is that he claimed Nick would pause his, apparently he was having sex with Kayla during his streams, and if Nick left his stream and encountered them together, he would start demanding details about what kind of sexual contact they were having. And that would explain, if they were arguing about stuff like that, that would explain why he kept leaving for 45 minutes at a time. If he was demanding answers, did you fuck her? Did she give you a blowjob? What happened, huh? What happened? So even though it was a thing where they were seeing each other's wives, he kept demanding, he kept possessive, but would want detail. He was okay with it, but he would want information about it. This I'm willing to accept because it's such a weird story, and it aligns with those gaps in his streams that nobody knows what he's doing. Aaron apparently has nude images of him and Kayla together. He says Balldo does have a trust fund. And Rekieta was read the site, which we already knew. So that was Aaron's appearance on the Kino Casino. Like I said, I don't believe a lot of what he says, but he was a pretty good storyteller. At least a lot of it was funny. And then just today, Useful Mistake got a copy of the search warrant from the so this is the search warrant. So this was the way you get a search warrant is that a petitioner, usually the police, asks a judge for permission to invade somebody's privacy, search them and their person in accordance with the Constitution. So they had to write quite a bit, and then there's the details of what they actually found as a consequence of the search warrant. And I'll read that in a second. Let me drink some water. Okay, so application of search warrant. Oh, and this is the beginning of the. So they're applying for the property and also for the people. Your affiant is a Detective Quinn Pomplin, a licensed peace officer in the state of Minnesota. Your affiant has been employed with the Candiota County Sheriff's Office since 2013. Since 2018, your affiant has been assigned to the detective division on a full-time basis, focusing on felony-level crimes, including but not limited to criminal sexual conduct, homicide, death investigations, missing persons, fatal motor vehicle crashes, burglary, etc., including child abuse and financial crimes. Your affiant was assigned to the Candiota County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division for investigating street-level crimes, including but not limited to driving under the influence, etc. Your affiant was employed as Chief of Police for the Sacred Heart, Minnesota Police Department, which included responsibilities of administration, investigations, and patrol. Your affiant is very well qualified. Case background. On May 16th, 2024, Candiota County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Dave Nestor received a report regarding possible child neglect and a controlled substance use. The reporter indicated that Nicholas Robert Rekieta, residing at in Candiota County, he resides at the residence with his wife Kayla Christine Rekieta and 5 children ages 6 to 16. The reporter indicated that 4 people from their church had gone to him reporting neglect to the children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple. It is reported that Nicholas is a social media blogger, and he and his wife Kayla have befriended hosts from a different local social media blogger. Those individuals were identified as Aaron M. Holt and April M. Holt. Your affiant knows personally these are personalities of the Steel Toe Morning Show, which used to be in St. Cloud, Minnesota. However, as of recent years, the show has been a social media entertainment show strictly based online, which aligns completely with the Kiwi Farms thread on him, by the way. However, as of recent years, I heard that. It was reported that M. Holt may have been staying with Rekieta's, and the home was in disarray and cluttered. It was reported from a church preschool teacher that the children had complained of being hungry, not being fed, and wearing the same clothes for 3 to 4 days at a time and would start to smell. Nicholas was reported to being lethargic and appeared high or drugged driving a car around. Another individual advised the reported that Nicholas walked out randomly during sermons at church and have noticed behavioral changes in him. It was alleged Kayla looked anorexic, and Nicholas has lost a substantial amount of weight recently. One individual described Nicholas as having injection of track marks on his arms. The reporter reiterated concerns for possible neglect and or controlled substance use within the home. Your affiant started to review Rekieta and the M. Holt social media blogs. The blogs are commonly related to legal issues and high-profile trials, as Nicholas is a licensed attorney. Nicholas is known to drink alcoholic beverages excessively on these video blogs. I immediately noticed that Nicholas's appearance in recent months has changed. In videos from January 2024 compared to May 2024, Nicholas appears to have lost weight, appears tired, and overall appears strung out, common with controlled substance users. Nicholas commonly refers to his studio as his basement in his own residence. Nicholas has been the victim of swatting phone calls and is known to your affiant and the Candiota County Sheriff's Office because of these calls. And they responded to his house address. While reviewing M. Holt's social media blogs, Aaron recently indicated that he and April are getting a divorce. Aaron goes on to say that he has experimented with cocaine 3 times and Molly 6 or 7 times over the past recently. in December 19th, very, very incidental date, the Imholtz broadcasted a podcast from Rekieta's studio, with the podcast being named Live from Spicer. Throughout Imholtz video blogs, it appears that they and the Rekietas were friends and may have recently had a falling out. It should have been noted that in the recent videos of Imholtz, April has at times appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out as well. In both Nicholas's and Imholtz video blogs from Rekieta's studio, it is apparent that they are in the same room and the items in the background appear the same. At one point during the Imholtz video, Nicholas walks in the background and grabs an item, which would show that the background is on the backdrop curtain and that the layout of the actual room. On May 22nd, so very recently, Imholtz did a video blog where he talked about Nicholas and insinuated controlled substance use, and also referenced a video blog that Nicholas put online the day before that has since been taken off the lowercase I internet. Imholtz indicates that in this blog that Nicholas needs help and needs to get help for his kids because of the substance abuse. Imholtz points out a time in the video where Nicholas has a white powdery substance on his nose. On the following day, your affiant was able to review the video that was taken off of Nicholas's YouTube and Rumble social media sites. I wonder where Mr. Quinn was able to acquire a copy of this video that was taken down from Nicholas's YouTube and Rumble social media sites. I wonder what website the officer went to find a copy of this video. What do you guys think? The video is from May 21st and is of Nicholas in his basement studio talking about a court appeals ruling he lost. He appears in the video to be drinking alcoholic beverages and eventually appears under the influence of a substance or substances. The entire video is 4 hours and 4 minutes long. Approximately 2 minutes and 46 seconds into the video, Nicholas leaves to go to the restroom. Oh, I think this was minutes. 2 hours and 46 minutes. When he returns at 2 hours and 50 minutes in, he appears to be making an excited look and has white powdery substances on his nose. Your affiant believes his behavior is indicative of central nervous system stimulants. Your affiant believes, based on training and experience, as well as behavior of Nicholas, that he ingested this white powdery substance through his nasal cavity while off camera. Your affiant knows through his training and experience that ingesting controlled substances through the nasal cavity is common amongst controlled substance users and is often referred to as snorting. Your affiant also noted that throughout this video, Nicholas is so under the influence of a substance that he at one point has to close his eyes to read his screen, rambles, and slurs his speech. Nicholas would obviously not be able to care for his children in this state of intoxication. It should be noted that your affiant was a drug recognition evaluator for several years, and based on your affiant's training and experience, the behavior of Nicholas in his video blog indicates polysubstance use, meaning that it is believed he is ingesting more than one substance based off his behavior. Being both excited and nearly passing out, this is a consistent behavior of both CNS stimulants and depressants. Your affiant believes that the report of neglect and controlled substance use are consistent with the previously mentioned information. Your affiant is requesting to search the address for items listed in relation to welfare of the children in the home in relation to a controlled substance investigation. Your affiant is also requesting to search Nicholas Rekieta. I declare that everything is true. And then whereas the application of Quinn Pomplin was duly represented and read by the court and fully advised on the premises, now therefore the court finds probable cause that cause exists for the issuance of a search warrant, signed Jennifer K. Fisher. The search warrant for Rekieta's house was signed by the presiding judge of his civil case and now his criminal case. The judge who he describes in this video that was mentioned on May 21st, 2024, as having alcohol leak out of her vagina. That's his judge. That signed his warrant. That presides over his civil case and will preside over his criminal case. If you live in a small town, do not make enemies of the courts and the police. That's my suggestion to all of you, because it appears that Rekieta did not learn that lesson and has pissed off a judge. It's like pottery, it rhymes. That's right. So what did we learn from this? We learned that 4 people indicated to the pastor, those evil prudes from his church, as Rekieta complained about, the people that deal with his children on a daily basis, the people in his microschooling program, confided to the pastor that they were concerned about Rekieta. They believe, and this is exactly what I said. I bet you they saw him driving DUI, and they reported it. At least one of them did. One of them reported that the children were malnourished, hungry, arriving to class without food. They stank. One of the teachers literally saw Rekieta's children and went, "Uh-oh, stinky, uh-oh, stinky," and reported this to the pastor and said, "Bro, what the fuck?" They all noticed that he lost weight. They all noticed that he and Kayla looked like shit. They reported to the pastor, who reported it to the police, as a mandatory reporter has to do. And so the police, then, receiving this information, said, "Hey, I know this guy. He does that law show. Let me see if I can find some videos of him." He went onto the YouTube channel for Rekieta and saw that he looked like fucking shit and thought, holy shit, he is absolutely killing himself. Went to Amholt's YouTube channel, watched his latest stream where he expresses concern for Rekieta, outlines that they're horrible drug addicts, and then is talking about a stream that he can't find. So I guess he goes to Google or Bing or whatever, types in Nicholas Rekieta live stream, finds the Kiwi Farms, watches an archive of it, and then decides based off of this that he's intoxicating himself with poly substances and is endangering his children in the process, and applies for a warrant based off this information, which, by the way, contrary to what Robert Barnes is saying on Twitter, is not insufficient for probable cause. That's definitely enough to get a warrant to go check. And then, of course, they check, and what do you know? The house is fucking filth. The kids are hungry. They haven't had their SpaghettiOs in weeks since the snack boy left. And it's just a tragedy all around. So that's the update with Rekieta. The search warrant has come out. Yeah, dude, and we all knew. Like, people talked about this for months on the forum. Like, we all knew that he had a falling out with his church. We all knew that he looked like shit. We all knew that he was doing cocaine on top of doing alcohol. We knew that because they were both engaging in, like, weird swinging sex, and because they were both doing substances together, that there was no fucking way that you can maintain a household. Like, it's hard enough for me to clean my space. What the fuck is it like with one child? If you have, like, one child and you're trying to take care of one child, it must be fucking, like, a full days of work to keep everything tidy. You have 5 kids, even if they're older, like, it would be it is full-time work to keep your space clean. If you have 5 kids, there's no way around it, even if they are responsible. And then you try to do part-time parenting and then part-time swinging and part-time drug use. There's not a fucking chance. There's no chance in hell that you can juggle 5 kids, especially when they're in, like, a weird micro-schooling program and not like a public school program where you can just get them to fuck off like 10 hours a day. There's no chance in hell that you can adequately care for 5 kids while juggling swinging and cocaine. You know, there's just not a chance. There's not a chance. Yeah, and streaming. Like, there's no way. There's literally no fucking way. The odd hours that Rekieta was up at night, like, there's not a fucking chance. It's really sad. Because it was sad a while ago when you realized that it was just like an alcohol problem, and he was like being a shithead, and you're like, bro, you're supposed to be like trad. Everyone liked you, and now you're like a loser. You're literally like a deadbeat dad. And then it's like, okay, so they're like properly neglecting the kids, and they're not, the littlest ones aren't even taking showers and they're having to like recycle their clothes because they don't have any more clean clothes. Like, what a fucking like travesty. And, you know, it remains to be seen, because the laws of what represents an emergency, like in Child Protective Services, is always different state by state. So, you know, who knows? Imagine how disruptive that is, especially when you have like a weird, like, micro schooling program. You know, you're a 6-year-old and you're used to going to all these different people's houses to learn lessons from like, in like these small classroom environments. Well, you get yanked out of that and put into a system, even if it's like a relative's house. A relative isn't going to like drive you around to all your micro schooling shit. You're going to public school. So you're 6 years old, and, you know, you're suddenly moved out of the only house you've ever known. Mom and dad aren't around because they're dealing with a court case. They might be going to jail for 25 years. You're now in like this completely different environment, and then you're not even going to go to your microschooling because your foster parents probably both work and they can't do that. So you're just going to go to public school. And then you're like this weird, traumatized 6-year-old going to fucking Minnesota public school, probably near Minneapolis, for the first time in your life. And you're sitting next to Madul Ahmad Sheikh Akbar. You know, like, what? That's genuinely, like, I never recover from this. I'm now fucked up in the head. I'm traumatized for the rest of my life. I'm going to go to therapy because my safe, comfy life was ruined instantaneously by my retard father and mother. You know, it's like fucked. No, it's really sad. And by the way, since I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying this, I never wished this on Nick. I'm not happy. Does anyone think that I'm happy that Rekieta's life is fucked up and his entire family is going to be traumatized as a result? Does anyone think that? I don't think anyone's happy. I think a lot of people are pleased to see someone smug and condescending like the way that he has. But that was like as an addict. There's very few people who are genuinely happy that Rekieta's life is fucked up. I'm not one of them. And I don't know why people project this bullshit on me. Like, the Kiwi Farms ruined him, and Josh Moon is so happy that Rekieta's life is over. No, not. No, they're not. What's wrong with you? They constantly do this, too. I'm not... Okay. 4K is happy. It is... it is like a disgust thing. Like, I'm shocked, and I of course enjoy drama. Like, it's interesting that I get to see this, and I do enjoy drama, but, like, I'm not happy that Rekieta's whole thing is fucked up. After this came out, I made this. I showed this picture of Dick and, I have to do the full intro. I did this picture of Dax Herrera, aka Juju the Cow, man who gets fucked in the asshole dressed as the cow, and Vito the Pedo, Christopher Gesualdi, aka open pedophile. And they were just schmuckly. Like, if you want to know what it looks like when you're happy that someone's life is fucked over, this is what this looks like. Rekieta is their friend. They talk to him. They apparently they were a confidant for Nick Rekieta, talking about his swinging and other exploits. So they're like schmuckling about this. So I've since taken this and I have superimposed it over a group of hungry children to emphasize their smug libertarian preening about how does this affect you personally. Drug prohibition is ruining families. The real crime is that someone narked on them. I just want to I just want to make like an artistic statement here using AI imagery as an accessory. I hope that this conveys my feelings towards Dax Herrera, aka Juju the Cow, a man who gets fucked in the asshole dressed as a cow. And Christopher Vito Gesualdi, the pedophile. Oh, God, one more thing. The money has reminded me of something. One more thing. For those of you who are Rekieta aficionados. So one of the things that has been... This is a secret only for people who have survived the Bossman Jack and heroin segment. And who actually really care about Rekieta. Here's the deal. So police obviously all wear body cams now, especially in the U.S., and Rekieta was served a search warrant, so that means that police with body cams went to his house. In almost every state in the country, that means that there is body cam footage that you can request that would give you insights into the search and arrest, right? Here's the deal. In Minnesota, it's a little bit different. In Minnesota, they have very strict privacy laws on body cam footage. And a lot of people did not suspect that the police would be willing to give over any body cam footage for any reason because, especially if you're not one of the people that were involved in the search. It could be a police officer. It could be one of the people that were a part of the search warrant, one of the people in the footage. But it had to be somebody involved in the search, usually. But someone contacted the police of the Candy, Ohio County and asked them, can I get this footage? And they got a reply saying yes, but it would cost $60 per hour in order to process the request. And judging by how many body cameras and cameras like dash cams were involved in the footage, they said it would probably take at least 50 hours to process the request. And $60 an hour, that's $3,000 an hour, not including other fees. So I am going to crowdfund $5,000 to cover this request. But here's the thing. A lot of people did not look into this at all because Minnesota law is pretty strict in how it's written in regards to body cam footage. But I happen to know an attorney who is licensed in Minnesota and also happens to be the foremost leading attorney in FOIA requests in the entire United States. He has reviewed the case law regarding the Minnesota privacy law. In one instance, there was a bus robbery. And of the 6 people who were being robbed on the bus, one of them consented to the video being released and the other 5 did not. So the courts, trying to process the absurdity of this Minnesota law that prohibits valuable public data from entering the public, debated what to do over this footage. So they compromised by blurring out the other people in all this footage. So there is a theory, a working theory that we have, where if we request this footage, they may blur out everybody. Everybody involved might be blurred out and they might garble the voices. But we know what Nick and Kayla look like. We know what April looks like. What we don't know is what the house looks like. And there is no Minnesota law that indicates that the house is due privacy. And that's what we want. So we're going to put this in anyways. We're going to see what we get. And in 10 to like 30 days later, we'll see what comes out of our request. I'm going to go ahead with it anyways, because I know that we're going to get enough money to afford whatever the fuck we want in terms of from this Candy-Ojai County Police Department. We're just going to... I've already submitted the request. Spoiler, I've already submitted the request, so I'm already going to be out the money, whatever the bill ends up to. But I'm going to do the crowdfund thing. I'm trying out a new platform. It's called the Old Glory Alliance. It's from the people that do the Old Glory Bank, which is supposed to be like an anti-deplatforming bank. So I'm going to do like a test to see if they can handle the Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon doing the crowdfund. We'll put together the money and we'll see what we get from the Candy-Ojai apartment. And it might be literally nothing, and they might not charge us, but we'll see. And I the funniest possible answer would be that Rekieta like begs them not to release it. So it might be worth doing anyways. So that's the super secret, my scheme, my evil scheme with the body cam footage. A lot of people didn't even look into this, and I didn't look into it until someone said that they got a reply from the archives people saying that they would do it, but it would take a long ass time and they would charge $60 an hour for it. So it's like, okay. So we're going to do it anyways. Fuck it. We'll do it. We'll see what we get. What are we? Are we not the Kiwi Farms? Is this not the Kiwi Farms? Do we not do stupid, insane bullshit just to see what happens anyways? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. All right. You miss every shot that you don't take, and I take every shot all the time, perpetually, in infinity and beyond. All right, that's how it fucking goes. Chat. All right. Lucane for 2 says, "Damn it, Nick, we lost the kids again." One of the dude when that shirt. Okay, in case you're wondering, oh god, hold up. Let me just show you what I mean, because I think there's a chance that some people may not know about this, because they're like newer viewers, or they haven't been around so long. But years ago, when Nick was famous just for doing the Vic Mignogna lawsuit, his attorney in Texas, Ty Beard, literally printed this shirt that says, "Damn it, Nick, we lost the case again." And when I saw this shirt, and this was early into the lawsuit, this was super early, I told Nick, "Bro, that shirt is tempting fate. That shirt's bad fucking juju. I don't like that. That's shit. I wouldn't do that. That's really arrogant, and that's going to blow up in your face." And it sure as fuck did. And this shirt is like iconic now. My favorite edit is the one that just says, "Damn it, nigga." By the way, this guy, his Redbubble is Unlikely Beard. And I tried to find this shirt because I wanted to buy it so I could like frame it and invite that bad juju. But when I went onto his Redbubble, it said, "Damn it, Nick." It changed. And I don't know if this is if Ty Beard himself is the only person who has this version of this shirt. But when I went to the Redbubble, it just said, "Damn it, Nick, you lost the case again." Not we, as in not inclusive of Ty Beard. And I can't tell if it was always you, like if the only shirt that was printed with the word "we" was the one that he's wearing, or if he went back and he changed it to you at some point. I swear to God, I sound like a fucking schizophrenic, but I swear to fucking God that this is reality, okay? I swear to you I'm not insane. Holy Hell for 2 says, hope you're having a good day, Josh. You are my neighbor always. Thank you, Holy Hell. I'm having a great day. Lucas for 2 says, it's plainly obvious now that Crackett's drug issues are what caused the behavior which led to the schism between you. If he, in the unlikely event, gets clean and admits fault, will you mend fenceless? I am always open to. He hasn't done anything like bad to me. I think that there's, I think that everybody involved in LawTube and whatever the fuck would love it if he like got his shit together. I don't think anyone has bad blood with him. The only person he's fucked over is himself. If he got clean right now and did everything right from this moment forward, the last people to hold any kind of resentment towards Rekieta would be his own kids. I think that's it. Everybody else would be very quick to forgive him. Because again, he only made a fool of himself, really. For fact says there's something weird about everyone in LawTube. Like, what the hell is Kurt's deal? And then there's a link to a PPP post on X. And dude, I didn't talk about Kurt at all, but Kurt is like gross. I just want to say this: that Kurt guy is fucking gross looking. He's ugly and fat and old, and he looks fucking weird, and I don't like him. Here we go.
I think Nick will violate his bail. Oh no, I don't. I don't have a lot of faith in Nick.
Damn, Hambley has lost weight. Hambley's down like 50 pounds at least. He looks like he's really lost weight.
I think Nick will end up back in jail. I think Nick will violate his bail. I think Nick will get high again. I'm on the record saying that.
Bro, okay, look at Kurt. Here's what he reminds me of immediately. Do you guys remember that game by Warner Brothers about the Tolkien universe? I think it was called like Shadow of Mordor or whatever, and how the orcs looked? He looks exactly like an orc from that video game. That's just how he looks.
I don't want that to be true, but I believe that is true because I've experienced a lot of people with addiction. And just because you get arrested, it doesn't stop people who are addicted from coke, who have money and means to get the drugs, to stop doing the drugs. I believe that's what I believe. But there's a difference between believing that and wanting it and hoping for it. I don't want that to happen. I don't think he's hit rock bottom. I just don't think so. And I think that, I hope he has. That's the two fighting. I don't think he's hit rock bottom. I think more bad things are going to happen. But I hope that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong because sometimes some people get a scare. It's not like, some hardened criminal, right? You've probably run into these people. Jail is not a big deal to them. People who've been in and out of the system. Oh, I jailed for 3 months. No big deal. Cool. Three hots and a cot for 3 months. Don't care. Lock me up. Nick's not that guy. Nick.
Wait, this guy is trying to find a wife? Buddy, that ship has sailed. You need to take that search to Indochina. Try Cambodia. Try Laos. You might have a chance. But that ship has fucking sailed for you.
Doesn't want to go to jail. I'm sure he doesn't. And so I think that's why he has a good chance of maybe letting this like shake him loose and get the monkey off his back.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. But it will. First of all, of course, as you sort of mentioned earlier, first he has to acknowledge that there's a problem.
Yeah.
And it based on what I've heard from other people in DM threads that appear to exist.
He needs a Ukrainian bride? Bro, don't wish that shit on Ukrainians. Ukrainians didn't do nothing wrong, all right? Good boys and girls, they don't deserve this shit. Laos, I'm telling you.
That I don't have access to.
I saw him.
But it doesn't necessarily appear that Nick is necessarily in the most receptive mood to I have done something wrong and I need to fix something. So that does not appear to be what is happening, which is unfortunate.
One of the big questions
I agree with him in that sentiment. Quartering has filtered Rekieta. Balldo Brigade is crumbling Kurt, saying he's not in the private DM stuff of Kurt. I think that, like I said, like Hambley switched too. Hambley was initially like trying to defend Rekieta. Kurt was trying to defend Rekieta, and then this news that legal mindset is like in a private DM with Nick, and he's like flipping out and like saying retarded shit. I think that's like hurt him, like that he wasn't invited to this, and he feels left out. But I'm telling you, the front lines are cementing soon. Everybody is going to have to pick a narrative now, and I think most people have realized that Rekieta has fucked up, and it's going to just be Rekieta and like Dax. Juju's going to be grifting off of him. And Ralph, you have a fuck up. The fuck up isn't willing to show up on any streams of people who might be critical of his life choices, but everyone wants to hear the fuck up. Everyone wants to hear Jerry Springer. Like, okay, what's the clown going to say next? So Rekieta's going to show up on the fucking kill stream. He's going to show up on Biggest Problem with Juju, and he's going to give those people what they want, and that's why they're friends with him, and that's why they're taking his side. Same with Barnes, by the way. Barnes, who did represent the Kiwi Farms in the Tomlinson case and got us what we wanted, basically. Even though he charged a lot for that, by the way. Barnes is inexplicably taking the side of Rekieta, saying that the search is unconstitutional. But what I understand is that Barnes did this with other people. Like, he clout chased after Rittenhouse and some other guy, and with Rittenhouse, he was very loud and openly defended him, got onto his legal defense, and then was kicked off at some point. So that seems to be like his MO, is that he's very loud and open about his representation. He takes like a hardline controversial defense to try and get involved in that case so he can profit off of it. But like, his take is wrong about the search being unconstitutional. I received good information that there was nothing wrong with the search. So it's definitely like a weird thing that he's doing. But Rekieta, this is what Rekieta is choosing. Rekieta is choosing to surround himself with only people who will affirm his bad decisions. And who are those people going to be? Barnes, Juju, Ralph, and those will be his friends moving forward, and they will benefit from the association, and Rekieta will not, because Rekieta has picked people that will not disagree with him, and that's just how it is. Just how it goes.